Hello, DePaul families. Welcome to the 24-25 school year. We are live at our new location located at 9750 Deer Lake Court here in Jacksonville, Florida. And we are doing this video in a real environment, meaning you are going to hear staff, you're going to hear construction, you're going to hear drills and all of the crazy stuff still happening just days before school starts. But we are confident that as of Monday morning, we will be a 100% bona fide school ready to teach your beautiful children. Yes. So here we go. I am Amber Oliveira. I'm the head of school and CEO of DePaul School. This is Rhianne McCullough. She is the principal. Yes, yes. So first and foremost, take a look at these lovely faces. These are your teachers for the 24-25 school year. We have mostly returners, but we are welcoming two new faces, Kelly Harrell and Jordan Halperin. So you will be pleased to meet them, and you will be super impressed with them as we are. All right, so as you know, the DePaul School, we use the Orton-Gillingham philosophy. It's what you're paying for, it's why you found us, and it is our specialty. It is the gold standard for dyslexia education, and it is our bread and butter. So that's what you will see if you walk into a reading class here at DePaul, the Orton-Gillingham approach. So rigor, the DePaul difference is what we like to call this philosophy. In a typical public school setting, your child was working in the anxiety zone. That is why you reached out to find us, meaning they had lowered confidence, feelings of failure, and that is what kids with dyslexia receive in a typical setting. The opposite of that is the comfort zone. It is when your student is being given so many accommodations and so many modifications that they are in their comfort zone. It's kind of stagnation and laziness, and there's no growth because school is just not a challenge. Right. The DePaul difference is learning in their learning zone, which means we find exactly what it is that they need, and we put them in the setting where they're going to receive it. Nothing too easy, nothing too hard. Right. They're working exactly where they need to be. This leads to confidence, maximum growth, and positivity. So that's what you're going to see here. That's the DePaul difference. So on their report cards, because they are receiving exactly what it is they need on their level, their grades will reflect their ability working at the level they are receiving. So for example, if Jasmine is an 11-year-old in 6th grade, but she's reading on a 3rd grade level, her report card reading grade is going to reflect her proficiency on the 3rd grade level standards. That's right. We can assume that Jasmine would get a low grade if we were grading her on 6th grade content because she's not there yet. So rather than saying, well, Jasmine's in 6th grade, she's failing at the 6th grade standards, we give her what she needs. We give her the skills that she missed earlier in her education, and we grade her based on those things that she's receiving now. So that's important to remember, that our report cards are based on the grade level the student is working on, and those are our construction sounds that we were warning you about.
I know you hear them.
Yes, we hear them. We hear them in our sleep at this point. So grading is based very similar to what a traditional setting does. We have quizzes, tests, classwork, projects, writing conventions, participation. So the grading scale is very similar to a traditional spot. It is just based on the standards they're working on.
All right, so here we go. We're gonna move right along into our morning assembly. So each and every morning, Monday through Friday, we have a morning assembly between the time frame 8:15 to 8:30, where our entire line squad, we get to assemble together. We get to share some positive news, highlights, reminders. This is an opportunity for our new students to start learning the DePaul Pledge, the Pledge of Allegiance, and we just come together to create a bond and form relationships with new friends and the teachers. We celebrate birthdays and accomplishments, and this is something your students will definitely don't want to miss. So be sure they're on time, 8:15, to catch our daily assembly.
So if your student shows up at 8:16, they are considered tardy. So this is not an optional part of the day. School starts at 8:15 sharp.
Our daily schedule. After our assembly in the morning, our students will then transition to their core academic classes. which is our reading and our math subjects. They start off in the morning with reading, where we place heavy emphasis on our Orton-Gillingham approach, moving into a mini lesson focusing on a writing skill or a comprehension skill. Then we transition into centers, and at center time, this is an opportunity for teachers to really personalize the instruction to meet the needs of your child, specifically where they're struggling in. It's smaller groups while they are working on games, they're working on computer software such as iExcel, iReady, and then we do a lesson summary as well at the end of that reading block.
And you'll hear more about this in detail at our open house when you will actually be in that class setting with your student. So you'll see what our typical setup looks like in depth.
Live in action.
Yes.
We then transition into our math block. And in our math block, we start off our class with a little warm up. And this is where we get the students to practice their fluency, their multiplication, addition, subtraction facts. The teacher will then move into a whole group mini lesson focusing on a specific skill. After that mini lesson is completed, we then go into center time, again, personalizing that instruction for our students, and then wrapping up that lesson at the end. A lot of multisensory hands-on activities in math. You will definitely hear your lovely Lions coming home sharing about their experiences there.
Definitely. So since our day is so multisensory and so hands-on, it's very difficult for teachers to send home makeup work. So if your student's going to be absent, we understand that life happens, there's illnesses, there's family emergencies, no problem. But just understand that it's not a traditional school where we can say, okay, do these 3 textbook pages and they'll be made up.
Correct.
We are multisensory, we're interactive, we use a very specialized curriculum. That's why you are here at DePaul. So we will do our best to send home some backup work, but usually we take it upon ourselves in-house to get them caught up for when they are absent. Lunch at DePaul. As you know, we do not have a traditional lunch program at DePaul. Your student is required to bring their own lunch. We ask that they do not share food due to allergies. We do have the ability to warm up leftovers or to warm up lunches if it takes less than 3 minutes to warm up. So don't send in a 6-minute hungry man. We just don't have the amount of microwaves needed to spend that much time per student. Also, we encourage you to pack them a snack because it is a long day. They have a snack in the morning time because lunch is in the later part of the afternoon. So we ask that snack is something that they can hold in one hand so they can continue to work with the other. We ask that it's not sugary, definitely no soda or candy. You are welcome to purchase lunch through a system like DoorDash or Grubhub. Just know that we are not responsible for the coordination of that or mess ups or anything that may happen on their end. We cannot, help with that at all. Lunch is sometimes provided by the school on special occasions. You'll be notified in advance. Most importantly, if your student has an allergy or a gluten sensitivity, we ask that you teach them to be an advocate for themselves, to make sure that they are being responsible for their personal needs and communicating as needed about their needs. Most importantly, make sure we have it on file if there is a serious allergy. Of course, deliveries will be sent to 9750 Deer Lake Court, 32246. Brain break and snack. So because our days are long and because many of our students deal with ADHD, and because we are so intensive with our instruction, we often will have brain and snack breaks throughout the day. We stretch, we laugh, we socialize, we share. If the weather's nice, we go outside. These take 5 to 10 minutes, but you may hear your student refer to a brain break, and we wanted to let you know what that is.
Well, honey, what was your favorite part of the day today? Brain break.
Brain break.
Or recess.
Or recess. Yes. So recess is a little different this year. We have always had a beautiful playground. Unfortunately, we do not have our playground yet. We've submitted the permit for it. This is going to take a couple months to get this rolling. So we have been very creative. We've set up a lovely place for the students to be able to run around and socialize and exercise. We have a blow-up obstacle course. We have a volleyball net. We have basketball, yes,
trampoline,
tetherball, trampolines. A jungle gym that they can climb on is going to be installed late next week. So there's plenty of opportunity for play and socialization during recess, though it doesn't look as beautiful as our former setup.
Absolutely.
Yes. After lunch and recess is
science and social studies. Now, this is the part of the day where I'm sure they get over their reading, they get over their math classes, and they look forward to this time. What is science? What is social studies? Every day we are engaging our Lions in hands-on activities, still focusing on the content standards that we are required to focus on in science, social studies. So you will see your Lions coming home talking about an experiment that they did, or a study in social studies book report, or creating maps out of dough. You will hear a lot of information on them speaking about social studies and science. We also, another exciting part of our day is our resource class. At the end of each day, our students will be dismissed to a resource class, and there are many resource classes that your students will attend, to include PE, art, music, creating, speech choir, strategy games, graphic design. And this is a time for them to have fun, but also build their teamwork skills, their socializing skills, and reinforcing skills and standards at the same time. We also have our elective classes, which is not daily, it's a rotation. And this is something that they will count down to. When is elective day? They want to know. And on our elective days, we have Legos, plants and animal care, yearbook, photography, cheerleading, sewing, photography. We have parent volunteers who they're always more than willing to come in and help. So if you're a volunteer and you have something real special that you want to bring to our DePaul squad, please reach out to us and we would be more than happy to have you on that elective schedule.
Bring us your talents.
That's right.
So the end of the day is dismissal, and dismissal is from 3 to 3:25. The first few weeks of school, this is important, we will start dismissal at 2:45, and that is for a few reasons. We've never dismissed from this location. We have promised the city of Jacksonville that we would not back up onto Deer Lake Court. So we are going to be troubleshooting and problem solving as we move, which we're really good at. We're not worried about it. You shouldn't be either. When you come up, you're going to see signs that direct you to go all the way around the building. And believe me, we'll make this very simple. Sorry for the construction noises. We'll make this very simple for you. You'll be very clear on where to go. And we will load your student in the car and you will follow the sign around. We will get really good and really proficient at this as the year goes on. For the first couple weeks, we ask that you be patient, hence the graphic of the dog and the Zen pose. We ask that you display your student name on the tag on the rear view mirror that you will be given. We ask that this is quick paced, meaning when you see a teacher, you don't say, hey, can you tell me how Johnny's doing? Nope, it's not the time for conference. We're going to be very cordial and quick and pop your kid in and you're going to pull off. If your student is in the restroom, we're going to ask you to park in a parking space and wait for them. Rainy weather dismissal. If it is raining, we will also start at 2:45. So the first 2 weeks of school, and when it's raining, we will start at 2:45. So you might be wondering, well, geez, how am I supposed to know? It doesn't matter. If you show up at 3 o'clock, we're going to give you your kid at 3 o'clock. If you show up at 3:15, we're going to give them to you at 3:15. You have from 3 to 3:25 to get your kid on a typical day.
Yes.
So safety patrols, the most responsible 6th through 8th graders may apply to the safety patrols, and we put these kids to work at a traditional setting.
Sure do.
Yeah, they might have like 10 minutes of responsibilities, but we ask them to help at arrival, departure. We call upon them for special events. Yes, special events. They're responsible for checking the playground and the parking lot for safety concerns. They take care of the outside flag. Which, you know what, we don't even have up yet because we are moving, but it will be up shortly. So keep an eye out in the next month or so, 6th through 8th grade parents, for safety patrol applications. All right.
Okay, so moving forward, we are going into our daily, weekly, quarterly schedules items that's needed. So daily, your students, communication, yes, big deal.
Yes.
Communication.
Yes.
So to start this off, we are going to talk a little bit about our agenda, and I have my lovely model right here. Your student will be receiving one of these lovely agendas that they will be bringing home every single day. In this agenda, when you first open the agenda, you will see on this cover page their passwords. Well, I already homeworked tonight, Mom, but I don't have my passwords. Ooh, Mama, Daddy, Grandma, it's right in the agenda. As soon as you open it, you will see those passwords for all the software programs that we utilize at DePaul. Also in the agenda, teachers will be sharing notes home to your student. Also, there's a morning message. Each morning, your child in reading will be writing a morning message. You want to check it out. It's reminders. Sometimes it's a note from the teacher specifically, events coming up, a joke, a quote. Just share that moment. At the end of the day, what did you write in your agenda today? And have that conversation to kind of build that rapport and get to know what we're doing in the life of DePaul school. Parents, at the beginning of the school year, we always communicate. Kindly sign your child's agenda there we go. Daily. Monday you're signing, Tuesday you're signing, Wednesday you're signing, Thursday you are signing this agenda. August through November, we get all signatures, and then December and January comes and we're like, well, what happened? You didn't sign this agenda. So just try to, keep up the consistency so that we know that you are receiving the messages that we are communicating in the agenda.
So in addition, in terms of communication, in addition to the daily agenda, we have an outside sign that we often have reminders and just cute things on. So that's another daily communication that we partake in. And one of the most important ways you can also participate daily in your students' education is by checking out Schoolworks. If you don't have the Schoolworks app, you need to get that immediately. It's how we do all of our communication about lesson planning and behavior. So Schoolworks, you can check out the lesson plan for reading and for math for your student every single day. You will know what content they are working on. So that is a summary of our daily communication.
Correct.
We also have our weekly communication. So every single Wednesday, no matter what the weather is, no matter what's happening, you will receive an email from Terry, our admissions specialist, our TikTok star. You may know her from TikTok. And it has a summary of all things DePaul.
Yes.
And it arguably is, to me, it's the most important communication. It has every single thing you need to know that's coming up, reminders. That's every single Wednesday. So if this upcoming Wednesday, you do not get that email, you need to call the school and say, hey, I was promised a Wednesday email, never received it. You must have my email incorrect in the system, and let's get that fixed right away. Also on Wednesdays, your student will bring home the beloved Wednesday folder. Is it Wednesday packet or Wednesday folder?
Wednesday folder.
It says packet, but we say folder.
Okay. It's okay.
Anyways, they're not all this color. There are a variety of colors. But in your student's folder, there will be a section of return to school. That'll be field trip permission slips, things that your teacher wants to make sure you see. And then there will be a side that says keep it home. That's graded tests, graded schoolwork, graded classwork that you can just take it home and review with your student as needed. Right. So this is our weekly communication.
Right. And just to add to that weekly communication with this Wednesday folder, Miss McCullough was in the classroom for 10 years, and I am fully aware of what our lines would typically do. Come back the Thursday, and they see us collecting this Wednesday packet, and they try to take the papers out of there and push it in their backpacks. And then we get a phone call or an email, oh, I didn't get my child's work today. So kind of just monitor in the first few weeks of school and help them out to know, hey, please get me your Wednesday folder every single Wednesday. So you can see the content, you can see what your child is doing in the classroom, and return it to us on Thursday.
Yes.
Thank you.
Of course, quarterly communication. So in addition to the weekly and the daily communication, we ask you to come in quarterly quarterly is going to be the newsletter from the teacher. Correct. That tells you what's going to be upcoming in terms of content for reading, math, and social studies and science. And twice a year, we ask in October and February that you come in and conference with your students' reading and math teachers. So that is another form of communication. As needed, you can call, text, email teachers, and they will get back to you within 24 business hours. We ask that if there's any problem with communication that you CC. Speaking of problems with communication, this construction. So anyways, we ask that you CC admin, ADMIN, at DePaulschool.com so that we can help everybody who needs to get in touch. Yes. Behavior. Okay, so we ask that you look at the student handbook for specifics, but DePaul is not a behavioral remediation school. We only accept students whose primary learning difference is dyslexia or a related sensory processing difference. So we understand that ADHD is correlated with dyslexia. We have unlimited patience for the wiggles, for students who want to get up and move around.
And accommodations for that as well.
Absolutely, that's the name of our game. However, we do not accept aggressive behaviors, disrespectful behaviors, and we are very quick to react to those because we don't have a moment to miss in terms of focusing on our students' reading and math skills. So if there is a problem, we start with redirection. We're very firm. You may not do this. If you have this issue, we expect you to do this. We give them a warning. There's a consequence, a 10-minute break from recess. A second consequence might be a 20-minute break from recess. And then we also do something called a think sheet. So it's just where the student takes time to kind of process the choice they made, what they could have done differently, and kind of make a commitment to themselves and to their classmates and teacher, how they will react differently next time. If they do a think sheet, that means that it's progressed far enough that you will receive a behavior note in SchoolWorks. So I do want to show you what that looks like. At the top, it'll say discipline. And it'll have a category, a summary of what the student did, and it'll be sent to you via email through SchoolWorks. So we expect you to talk about this with your student and to set up consequences or expectations or boundaries as you see fit as a parent. It is important to understand that if a student has persistent issues in behavior, they will receive an S- or an N on their report card. And you'll see on this slide that there is a description of how somebody receives an S, which is satisfactory, an S- or an N. And this is important because not only does it set up your conduct grade for the year, but we use it to determine if your student will be eligible for return the next semester. So if your child has an N in conduct, it's highly recommended that you immediately schedule a conference with their teacher because they are at risk for not being invited to return the following semester. That's very important to know. Emergencies. We have fire drills monthly, tornado and lockdown drills quarterly. We are very aware that our students have sensory differences, and we do not do loud alarms. We make an announcement letting the teachers know this is a fire drill. We follow Duval County's emergency closures for hurricanes and tornadoes, inclement weather. We do, however, we do not follow their return date. What I mean by that is if Duval County cancels schools for a hurricane tomorrow, you know we are canceling as well, and we also communicate it like crazy. However, Duval serves as an emergency shelter, so they may have to stay closed for a week, whereas we may be able to return in 2 days. So we follow the closure, but not necessarily the opening. Your students at DePaul are never left alone. They're always supervised an adult or an assigned peer partner. Even when they go to the restroom, they go with a partner. One partner waits outside while the other one uses the restroom. And this is for safety, and it's an accountability measure to make sure that everybody is behaving in a safe, responsible way.
All right, moving into our 25 book challenge. This is one of our activities for the school year that your students will look forward to. I mean, parents, there will be some students coming home the first day of school saying, Mom, I need to read and log my book in my agenda for the 25 book challenge, which is in the fancy agenda we displayed earlier. On the back inside cover, your child, after reading that book, will log the title of the book, date completed, and you will sign your signature so teachers know that your child actually completed that book. They have the entire year to complete 25 books for a reward at the end of the school year. And this is just fostering reading, getting them to fall in love with reading. I absolutely love when I hear kids saying, oh, Miss McCullough, I found me a new book. I found me a new novel. I found a graphic novel. This is what I'm reading. And it engages us in conversation with them as well, again, to foster that reading in your child.
The cool thing about our 25 book challenge is that any book counts. So if they're reading Captain Underpants or Dr. Seuss or something that you might not even consider to be on their level or on their age level, it all counts because we are just trying to get them to love reading. We're not trying to get them to, read a particular thing, just fall in love with reading. So any book counts, and if the book is long, it can count as multiple books.
Yes.
Is it every 100 pages or every 200?
So the teachers typically would discuss, like Ms. Moss, teaching 7th, 8th grade, she'll let her students know, okay, well, a chapter may count or this amount of pages may count. So you will hear that communication from that teacher moving forward.
Perfect. All right, the DPA is the DePaul Parent Association. It's very similar to what happens in a traditional school with PTA. It's $10 per family to join, and that money goes towards our amazing events. The benefits of being part of the DPA is you get to meet with other parents to become an integral part of the school. It's completely parent-led. So sometimes we'll have a parent say, hey, we would like the parent directory was an outcome of the DPA. They wanted a place where all the students' contacts information could be shared for those parents who didn't mind. Or they'll say, hey, can we have a movie night in the fall? They just have really great ideas. You also get first dibs on limited field trip chaperone spots. Did you guys hear that? First dibs. First dibs. Yes. You get to help make DePaul a better place. And you get to vote on the theme of the dance. So that's a really big deal. Our dances are out of control, fancy, over the top. They don't even look like a school dance. They look like a prom. And you get to vote on the theme. So that's an exciting
big deal.
All right, dress code. So I'm going to let you read this because you have it written out. So I need you to read it carefully. We do expect for them to be in a DePaul polo purchased from RC Uniform. They can wear a navy or khaki bottom. We ask that they're not cargo shorts. We ask that they're not sports shorts, but we ask that they are uniform shorts. You can buy those at Target, Old Navy, RC Uniform. On Fridays, your student is allowed to wear their dress down shirt. So it is their DePaul shirt. They have an orange one and a blue one that they received at onboarding, I believe. I hope they did. If they didn't receive it at onboarding.
They did not.
They did not.
Not as
they
yet.
did not. Misinformation.
But we will have it prepared and ready for the first Friday.
By Friday, they will have their orange and their blue dress down shirts. Do not fear. We do have them tuck in their tops, except for on Fridays. The dress down shirts don't need to be tucked in, but we'll remind them to tuck in their shirt. Belts are optional. We understand that some of our students don't have the fine motor coordination to wear them comfortably, which is fine. If it is cold outside, they can wear a plain solid color long sleeve t-shirt under their polo. So if they're wearing a white polo, they can wear a white long sleeve under their polo. If they are wearing a hoodie, if they're cold in this building and half of this building is cold and half is not, so they'll have to play it by ear, they need to wear a DePaul pullover, hoodie, sweater, or jacket. So that they are remaining in uniform. When we go outside, they may wear when it's cold weather, they may wear their typical winter jacket when we are outside. But when we are inside, it's all DePaul uniform items. This is kind of a funny point for our dress code, but we do ask that our students wear deodorant. Listen, after recess, these classrooms can get really funky. We need your help. Deodorant is advised.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Shorts, they cannot be no shorter than 3 inches above the knee. No leggings. with our uniform tops.
Right.
Closed-toed shoes that are laced up at all times. It's so funny. Our kids every year they ask about Crocs. What did we decide about Crocs?
Fridays we allow them to wear
Fridays
Crocs.
we wear Crocs, and they're so funny. They put them in sports mode, which means they put the flap down. These kids. Hair. We want you to do you with your hair, but we ask that it remains your natural color and stays out of your eyes.
That's right.
Once in a blue moon, we will have a street clothes day. Your child may wear whatever outfit they would like that's school appropriate, whatever they'd wear to the movies with their friends or to a party that is appropriate for school.
Yes.
On their birthday, they can wear it, and they can also wear it for picture day. And then sometimes we will give them a street clothes pass for meeting certain incentives. And that's always very exciting for the students.
All righty, moving right along into our homework. The word, I'm sure some parents are like, oh gosh, can I just skip this portion?
Ready.
Can I skip this portion? Listen, parents, we actually ease our students back into homework. It officially starts on Monday, September 9th. Mark that on your calendar. Monday, September 9th is the official day for homework to start. Again, because we are a multi-sensory school and we engage our students in plenty of hands-on activities, our homework does not place heavy emphasis on a lot of writing and a lot of reading, or homework that's going to take them an hour, homework that's taking them 2 hours. That is a no-no at DePaul. We are working your babies 8:30 to 3 o'clock each day. That homework is a time for your child to say, hey, mom, look, this is what I know how to do. Let me show you this math skill that I was taught today. Let me show you that I know how to decode this word after having a lesson today with Miss Waddell. This is a time for them to show you. It is not a stressful time. I want to emphasize that, parents. Please, please, please check your child's agenda. Sometimes teachers will write a note in there. Well, Johnny had to do some extra practice problems. Here are the extra practice problems for Johnny. That will be clearly communicated to you. Each day, your child will be required to read for 20 minutes. Any book, as we were talking about, for their level. At the end of that 20 minutes, you will sign off in the agenda as well, and more information will come at open house on this. You will sign in the agenda so we know that your child completed that 20 minutes of reading time at home. On Mondays and Wednesdays, your child will be coming home with reading homework. Tuesdays and Thursdays, your child will be coming home with math homework. You will be provided with a copy of what will that homework look like for your child while you're at open house in August, at the end of August.
Some of our homework requires online work, and just as Ms. McCullough showed you at the beginning, no problem. All of your passwords and login information for your student is on the back of the first page of their agenda. So that will be easy for you to locate, and your student will become able to do this independently, log in by themselves.
Give them some time, parents.
Yes. So if your student is partaking in the optional extended day or homework help, before that date that we start homework, September 9th, they will be doing reinforcement work in homework help. So they'll be getting reinforcement of Orton Gillingham. They'll be doing their 20 minutes of reading. We will still make it a productive time for them. So what is the difference between extended day and homework help? Homework help is from 3:15 to 4 o'clock, Monday through Thursday. So Friday, you pick up at the normal 3 o'clock time. During homework help, they are in smaller groups. They are with somebody who is ensuring that they are getting some personal help with their homework as they need it. And the cost is $90 per month. Extended day is more like an after school program. It's more like, I don't want to say babysitting, but it's not academically focused. It's more socializing, coloring, playing games, playing outside, watching a movie. However, they do take the first 30 minutes to ensure that the students do their homework. However, it is not that one-on-one helping session that they would get as needed in homework help. Yep. Correct. So extended day is $140 per month. If you come in and drop in just for one day, let's say you get, there's something that happens at work and you can't pick up by 3:30, so you want your kid to go to extended day, there's a $10 drop-in fee and you will be invoiced for that $10. There is a hybrid option. Some parents say, listen, I can't pick up my kid until 5, but I want them to have that homework one-on-one help. You would want the hybrid option, which is $190 per month, and they would go to homework help until 4 o'clock, and then they would transition over to the extended day program. Morning care is for anyone who must arrive at school between 6:45 and 7:45. So your students are welcome to come to school as early as 7:45 for no additional cost. However, if you have to have them here before 7:45, 7:30, 7, 6:45, there is a $50 per month fee for morning care. And if you just have to do it maybe once or twice a month, it's $5 per day. And again, you will be invoiced for that fee. So it's always a bummer to have to lay down the law about extended day, but our teachers only get paid until 5:30. So when we have families who show up at 5:45, we are asking a professional to work for free for 15 minutes, and we don't like to do that to our teachers. So we follow Duval County Public Schools rule that there's a $10 late fee for being late at all. 5:31, there's a $10 late fee, all the way up to 5:45. At 5:45, we start charging $1 per minute. So if you show up at 6 o'clock, you're going to have the $10 late fee that covers until 5:45, and then an additional $15 for the additional 15 minutes. So you're going to have $25 late fee for picking up at 6. So we really ask that you respect the teachers and get there at 5:30.
And if you know that you will be late towards 5:45 or 6 o'clock, if you can kindly just communicate. Sometimes we'll have teachers waiting and not sure where the parents. So just please communicate with the teacher who is covering extended day, and you will know who's covering extended day daily.
Absolutely. Medication form. At your onboarding meeting, you should have gotten a medication form. If you did not, it is your responsibility to make sure that if your student needs to be administered medication for any reason during the day, that you fill out a form. You're going to see Miss Terry for this form. What about Tylenol? You don't need it for Tylenol, right? Yes, you do. Every single medication needs a form. If it's over the counter, it just requires a parent signature. If it is a prescribed medicine, we ask that the doctor who prescribed it also signs saying that it must be administered during school. Because honestly, if your student needs medicine at 8:30, we much prefer that you give it to them at home before they come to school rather than have us do it. So allergy medicine, EpiPens, everything. We need a medication form filled out and on file for your student ASAP. That's a priority.
All right, the exciting moment, the very first day of school. Is your child counting down? Are you counting down? Oh, I mean, yeah, we're counting down. Yes. We're counting down in the building here. First week of school, bright and early on Monday, we are going to be here to receive your lovely lions into this building. What will the first week of school look like? Your child will be in their homeroom class for that entire week. What are we doing in that homeroom class the entire week? We are completing assessments in reading and math, specifically our IEXCEL assessment, iReady assessment, reading assessment, assessments. And again, this is not welcoming your child back to just completing assessments. They're also doing getting to know you activities, team building activities, forming relationships, building a rapport, learning this new building. There's so much to see here, people. So that entire week we'll be focusing on homeroom. So on Wednesday, you won't ask Johnny, well, what did you get for homework? There's no homework. Remember, what's the date? I hope someone wrote it down. September 9th. All right, that's for that first week of school. At the end of that first week of school, we will be placing your students in their permanent reading and math classes. So when they return on that following Monday, we are going to hop right into our content for that week. But here's a surprise. I know you're going to share this with your students. We are having a walk-in field trip to the movie theater. We are right here, walking distance, people. And we are going to be seeing Harold and the Purple Crayon on Monday, August 19th at 9:30 a.m. You will be reminded of this. Remember, we communicate a lot via our Wednesday packets, our Wednesday email. You will get more information on this. So your students will be looking forward to this field trip on August 19th. Just a heads up, our open house will also be coming up on Friday, August 30th. Friday, August 30th from 2 to 3 p.m. And this is going to be your opportunity to get to know your child's reading and math teacher and to find out what are they going to be covering, what are they going to be doing, what does it look like. You get a quick snippet of what that will look like at the end of August. So please, please, please be sure, mark your calendars, take the time off to be here.
Absolutely. And now that you are a part of the DePaul family, you must find us on social media because we obnoxiously post pictures of your gorgeous students, if not, I mean, pretty much daily, but especially that first day of school, we're going to show you them socializing, them doing their team building, them in their new classrooms. So Facebook, if you don't have any other Facebook friends, you want us to be your Facebook friend. So facebook.com/DePaul School. You can find us on Twitter or X, I understand it is called now, Instagram and TikTok at DePaul School Jacks. So definitely find us on social media.
And I must say, we're famous. We are TikTok famous, people. Check out DePaul's TikTok.
We are.
So much content, a lot of useful information. Get on there. If you don't have a TikTok account, well, be careful. Anywho.
Yes, yes. Okay, so that was a lot of information with a lot of construction sounds, but we are here for you to answer questions. Email. You can email info at depaulschool.com. You can email admin, ADMIN, at depaulschool.com. We are here to help you. Phone calls are always an option. And of course, stop on by. We have people in the lobby from 8 to 4 every day that would be happy to assist you. And that is all we have for you today. So we are so excited for Monday morning. We can see your child as early as 7:45. They have all the way up until 8:15. And we're going to have a fabulous day. Yes. We're going to keep you updated on social media. And we thank you for trusting us with your prized possession.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you Monday.
See you Monday.